Our planet's core is an incredibly hot place. And if it suddenly went cold, we would all die in minutes. But how exactly would that happen? Would the world just freeze over like in a flash? Not quite. In this video, we're going to find out what would happen if the Earth's core suddenly went cold. We need to start with some basics. The Earth's core is divided into two parts, the inner core, which is solid iron and nickel, and the outer core, which is liquid metal. These metals are so hot that they reach 13,000 degrees Celsius, which is about 23,000 degrees Fahrenheit. To put that temperature into perspective, the surface of the Sun is around 6,000 degrees Celsius. So the Earth's core is twice as hot as the Sun's surface. But why is our planet's core so hot? It's mainly due to two reasons. First is the pressure. All those years ago when the planet was formed, there were lots of collisions between Earth and other space rocks. This caused a lot of friction and generated a significant amount of heat. Second is the radioactive decay of elements such as uranium and thorium found in the Earth's mantle. These elements release heat as they break down, adding to the overall temperature of the core. However, the Earth's core doesn't just affect the temperature around it. It also generates a magnetic field. You see, the Earth's rotation combined with the movement of the liquid iron in the outer core creates electric currents. These electric currents then generate a magnetic field that extends thousands of kilometers from the surface of the Earth. This magnetic field protects us from harmful solar winds and is one of the reasons why life can exist on our planet. So what would happen if the Earth's core suddenly went cold? Well, first of all, volcanoes would erupt all over the globe. You see, the Earth's core not only generates heat, but also pressure. This pressure is so great that it actually prevents magma from reaching the surface. In fact, the pressure at the core is so high that it stops magma from rising even if it reaches temperatures of up to 700 degrees Celsius. If the core suddenly went cold, the pressure would be released and magma would shoot up through the crust, causing volcanic eruptions on a scale never seen before. But wait, there's more. The energy from the core doesn't just keep the Earth warm, it's also responsible for the Earth's internal vibrations or seismic activity. Every 2 million seconds or so, scientists detect tiny seismic waves coming from the Earth's core. These waves travel around the planet and help to dissipate heat. They also play a role in moving water from the Earth's surface into the mantle. However, without a hot core, these seismic waves would cease to exist. And since there wouldn't be any seismic activity, the water cycle would grind to a halt. No more rain, no more snow, no more ice. And while the Earth froze over, every living thing on it would freeze over too. People, animals, plants, bacteria, everything would become frozen solid in a matter of minutes. Now let's say that somehow life continued despite the lack of water and freezing temperatures. Well, we'd have to worry about something else. You see, the Earth's core also affects the length of a day. Due to the centrifugal force generated by the rotation of the Earth, the equatorial region is actually wider than the polar regions. This means that the Earth is not a perfect sphere. In fact, it's wider at the equator by about 43 kilometers. Now, centrifugal force is balanced out by the gravitational force. However, if the Earth's core went cold, the rotational speed would increase. This is because mass at the equator would be flung outwards, causing the Earth to flatten even more. As the Earth's rotational speed increases, the day would become shorter. In fact, the day would be 3 hours long if the Earth's core suddenly went cold and the rotational speed increased. But wait, there's more. A change in the Earth's rotational speed would also affect the tilt of the Earth's axis. Currently, the Earth's axis is tilted at about 23.5 degrees. This tilt is responsible for the seasons we experience throughout the year. However, if the Earth's core went cold and the rotational speed changed, the tilt of the Earth's axis could change as well. This could lead to extreme changes in climate and weather patterns. For example, one pole could become unbearably hot while the other pole becomes unbearably cold. These changes would likely cause the Earth's orbit to change as well. You see, the Earth's orbit is elliptical rather than circular. The Sun is located at one focus of the ellipse, and the Earth revolves around it throughout the year. The tilt of the Earth's axis and the shape of the orbit are responsible for the seasons and climate patterns on Earth. But if the Earth's core went cold and the rotational speed changed, the orbit could become more circular or even change its distance from the Sun. This could lead to drastic changes in temperature and weather patterns on Earth. We could also expect earthquakes of unprecedented strength. You see, the Earth's core is responsible for the Earth's magnetic field, which, as we mentioned before, protects us from harmful solar winds. However, if the Earth's core went cold and the magnetic field disappeared, we would be bombarded by high-energy charged particles from the Sun. These particles would cause massive electrical currents to flow in the Earth's crust, leading to massive earthquakes. The Earth's core also affects the atmosphere. You see, the heat from the core causes convection currents in the atmosphere. These currents help to distribute heat around the globe and also drive weather patterns. Without a hot core, these convection currents would cease to exist and the atmosphere would become stagnant. Also, the Earth's core helps to maintain the ozone layer, which protects us from harmful UV radiation from the Sun. If the Earth's core went cold, the ozone layer would be destroyed and life on Earth would become impossible. But wait, there's more. The Earth's core also affects the ocean tides. You see, the gravitational pull of the Moon and the Sun causes the ocean tides. However, the Earth's core also generates a small gravitational field of its own. This gravitational field is superimposed on the Earth's surface and affects the ocean tides. If the Earth's core went cold, this gravitational field would disappear and the ocean tides would change. To sum up, if the Earth's core went cold, we would all die in minutes. There would be volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes, tornadoes, you name it. Our planet would literally fall apart. So let's just hope it doesn't happen anytime soon. Now, you might be wondering, how could such a cataclysmic event go unnoticed? Well, to answer that question, let's take a look at a real-life example. In 2018, a strange rumbling sound was heard across the Earth. The sound was detected by a network of seismic sensors used to monitor nuclear tests. The sensors picked up a low-frequency rumble that was not caused by an earthquake or a volcanic eruption. The sound was later identified as a natural phenomenon known as a hum. The Earth's hum is a low-frequency sound that is generated by the movement of tectonic plates, the Earth's magnetic field, and the Earth's atmosphere. The sound is usually too low for humans to hear, but sometimes it can be picked up by sensitive seismic sensors. While the Earth's hum is not dangerous, it is a reminder of the immense power of our planet. Just imagine what would happen if the Earth's hum suddenly changed or disappeared. Scientists are still working to understand the Earth's hum, but one thing is for sure, if it suddenly went away, we would definitely notice. Now watch what happens to your body after you die. Or check out another video instead.